Today on the program, electric car sales are skyrocketing, boosted by completely outrageous gas prices. Meanwhile, at Stellantis, the supposedly reliable new PureTech is turning into a nightmare. More than 210,000 cars have been recalled in France after several fire incidents. And as if that wasn't enough, Xiaomi is coming in strong. The SU7 has just been launched, and they're already following up with the YU7 GT and its 990 horsepower. Right now, going to the gas station is a bit like having a tooth pulled without anesthesia by a nearsighted dentist. With diesel prices easily surpassing 2.10 euros per liter, filling up your good old diesel now requires taking out a second mortgage. And the worst part of all this is that we're going to have to get used to it. Unless, of course, you consider this thing called the electric car. The current chaos in the Middle East is shaking the world order to its core, and the automotive world is taking the blow head on. The skyrocketing fuel prices haven't gone unnoticed by anyone, and this energy crisis seems like it's here to stay for quite a while. So, who's rubbing their hands together in this situation? Well, electric vehicles, obviously. Since the beginning of the year in France, electric cars account for 28% of sales, a figure never seen before. The return of the famous subsidized leasing program has given the market a real boost, just like the ecological bonus now renamed the Prime CEE. And let's be honest, the lineup is finally starting to look affordable. We have the Citroën IC3, the Fiat Grande Dipenda, and of course the Renault 5, which is selling like hotcakes and is becoming the most popular electric vehicle in the country. And soon, the Twingo, which could further increase EV market share. At Stellantis, for example, electric orders jumped by 45% during the March open house events compared to those in January. MG also recorded a 31% increase in its orders. But that's not all. Even though new cars are becoming more accessible, it's in the used car market where the real frenzy is happening. Searches on classified ad sites are literally skyrocketing. On La Centrale, for example, there's been a 91% jump. With fuel prices through the roof, French people are desperately looking for cars that don't cost an arm and a leg to run, and electric cars are becoming the obvious solution for them. As a result of such demand, the prices of used electric cars will remain strong for a while, or even go up. In short, let's sum up the situation. Fuel is overpriced, there are more new cars, and they're cheaper, and the used car market is booming. Everything is lining up perfectly for the electric car. At the same time, Stellantis is piling up problems. They just recalled more than 210,000 cars in France alone, 212,700 vehicles to be exact. And almost none of their brands are spared. The problem is a small electrical issue that could, in the worst case, turn your car into a giant barbecue. To put things in context, Stellantis decided to make a 180-degree turn. Gone are the days when reliability issues were swept under the rug, like that famous PureTech engine that made a lot of headlines. No, today, the group doesn't want to take any risks anymore. They want to win back your trust. And when it comes to recall campaigns, the law is very clear. Everything has to be made public. With 212,700 cars called in for a quick stop at the shop, we can say that it's a recall. XXL. So, what exactly is the problem? Well, it seems that some models equipped with the 1.2-liter hybrid gasoline engine have been assembled, with a space that's a bit too tight between the particulate filter pipe and the protective cap of the 48-volt system terminal. Basically, when it rains, this insufficient space can cause contact. Water seeps in, creates an electric arc, and bam, you get what they call a thermal event, overheating, right? And, in the worst-case scenario, it could trigger a fire under the hood. The solution is a quick trip to the garage for about half an hour. The mechanics will replace that cap with another one, better insulated. 7 brands are involved in this major recall. Stellantis admits to having recorded 36 cases where the problem occurred, including 12 that ended with a fire starting under the hood. We don't know the exact production dates of the cars involved, but we do know that these cars were assembled between 2023 and 2026. On the other hand, we have the figures by brand, and it's quite a spectacle. Peugeot, 122,000 units, Citroën, 42,000, Opel, 16,000, DS, 4,800, Alfa Romeo, 4,500, Fiat, 1,500, and Lancia, 911 units. Yes, 911 Lancias were recalled. In France, people are surprised that many were sold. In short, if you have one of these hybrid wonders in your driveway, expect to receive a little invitation for a checkup. Next, the new Xiaomi SU7 2026 version has just arrived. And even though it looks almost identical to the old one, what's hidden under the body is a major transformation. Visually, the SU7 hasn't changed one bit. It keeps its luxury liner proportions, 4.99 meters long, almost 2 meters wide, and a wheelbase of 3 meters. It's big, really big. And inside, we're promised new materials and a refreshed interface, but the screens remain the same. A small 7-inch one for the gauges, supported by a head-up display, and another much larger one, 16 inches in the middle of the dashboard. But the real magic happens under the hood. The standard and Pro versions go up to 752 volts, and the Max soars to 897 volts. Basically, to put it simply, going from 10 to 80% charge now only takes 12 minutes on the Max, 20 minutes on the standard, and 21 minutes on the Pro. But let's talk about what really matters, the range. And here, Xiaomi has decided to make a big impact. The standard version goes up to 720 kilometers, according to the Chinese cycle. The Max reaches 835 kilometers, and the Pro 902 kilometers. It also pulls a bit harder when you hit the accelerator. The standard and Pro versions, which send power to the rear wheels, go up to 320 horsepower, and the torque climbs to 505 Newton meters. The Max version, with its four-wheel drive, now delivers a whopping 691 horsepower. 0 to 100 is done in 3.1 seconds for the Max, 5.3 seconds for the standard, and 5.7 seconds for the Pro. And to top it all off, everything. The top speed of the single-motor versions has been raised to 240 km/h, but Xiaomi didn't stop there. They've made air suspension standard across the entire lineup. Same goes for the driver assistance features. The famous LiDAR sensor, once reserved for the wealthy, is now standard everywhere, supported by a powerful NVIDIA computer. And the price in all this, that's where it really becomes embarrassing for the competition. In China, the standard version starts at around 27,600 euros. The Pro starts at around 31,300 euros. And the Max, the 691 horsepower monster, costs just 38,000 euros. No wonder the boss Lei Jun announced more than 15,000 orders in just 34 minutes. Xiaomi now aims for 550,000 deliveries in 2026. The date of the brand's arrival in France hasn't been officially announced yet, but rumors say 2027. And finally, let's stay with Xiaomi. At the beginning of 2025, they introduced the YQ7, a direct rival to the Tesla Model Y. But apparently someone thought that wasn't crazy enough. So Xiaomi decided to unveil a beefed-up version, the YQ7 GT, and it's a real monster. Thanks to the Chinese Ministry of Industry and Information, which, by the way, is the leakiest agency in the world. Unable to keep a secret for more than 5 minutes, we now have the technical details. Beneath this giant sits a gargantuan 101.7 kW battery. According to the Chinese CLTC cycle, this gives it a range of 705 km. If we translate that to the more realistic European WLTP range, we end up with around 600 kilometers. But where it really gets absurd is under the hood, or rather on the axles. This family SUV is equipped with 2 electric motors. The first one, at the front, produces 391 horsepower, and the second one, at the rear, puts out 611 horsepower. I'll let you do the math. That makes a crazy total of 990 horsepower. We don't know yet how long it takes to go from 0 to 100, but we already know that the top speed is announced at 300 km/h. In terms of size, the YQ7 GT is a big baby. It measures 5.05 meters long, 2 meters wide, and 1.62 meters high. Compared to the standard version, the design remains basically the same, but with a good dose of extra testosterone. The front bumper is more open to take in more air, and the rear diffuser has gotten bigger. And if you think all this still lacks a bit of craziness, Xiaomi has thought of you. They offer a customization catalog worthy of a video game. You want stickers on the hood? That's possible. Logos in different colors? That's possible too. Painted brake calipers to your taste, of course. And you can even choose from several styles of roof spoilers and mirror covers. For now, Xiaomi is keeping the interior a mystery. But if we go by the standard version, we should find a 16.8-inch 4K screen, along with a second display that stretches across the entire width of the windshield. As for the price and launch date, it's a complete mystery. Xiaomi hasn't said anything yet, but one thing is certain. When this ballistic missile on wheels hits the roads, it's going to make a lot of noise. Well, a lot of noise, so to speak. Thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. See you